We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
Abhue on Facebook. Abhue. I may be saying that right or not. I don't know. We'll find out. What makes Ultra HD Blu-ray discs different than Blu-ray discs? Do they use a new laser, or are they just Blu-ray discs with additional layers? They definitely use a new laser. They don't have additional layers.
Do they use a new laser?
I
don't
thought
know if
they did.
do.
I thought they did. I thought the laser was slightly different.
I don't think so. I mean, they're essentially the BDXL discs. So regular Blu-rays have 25 gigabytes per layer and a maximum of 2 layers. So either 25 gigs on a single layer or 50 gigs on a dual layer. Ultra HD Blu-ray discs put 33 gigabytes per layer. So you can have...
Yeah, so it's tighter.
Yeah, so they just go more to the edges.
No, really?
Yeah, that's kind of all they did on them. So they're either dual layer, meaning 66, or triple layer, meaning 99.
Right.
Which they call a 100 gigabyte disc. So physically they are different in that one is 25 gigabytes per layer, one is 33, but they do that just by going more to the edges. As far as I know, the laser, I mean, if it changed very slightly. It's still a blue laser.
Yeah, but I mean, it must be somewhat different because it's got to read.
I don't know, because I mean, people are able to physically read Ultra HD Blu-ray discs with BDXL PC drives. Doesn't mean anything will actually play, but they can physically read the data on them. So, what was different was the focusing, because a regular Blu-ray drive can only focus on either one layer or the second layer.
Right.
It can't focus on a third or fourth layer like BDXL can, but BDXL can focus on 3 or 4 layers. So the laser's probably the
same, it's just the different...
the laser's the same, but the lens structure is different. Yeah, the lens structure for the focusing is different. Outside of that, it's different formats that are stored on the disc. So Blu-ray is H.264.
Right.
Ultra HD Blu-ray is H.265, also called HEVC. So it's a different codec that's on there. Yeah. And then, of course, what's in that format is different. It's 10-bit instead of 8-bit. It's got high dynamic range. It's got the higher resolution. But, the physical discs themselves, not tremendously different.
So lastly, ask, are there any AV receivers that can process both front heights and surround back speakers simultaneously? And if so, would that be 9.1.4? Well, wait a second.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit confused.
Yeah, I am too.
That's exactly how he worded it, so I'm just going to go
I know, because I read this question when it came in. I was like, that's what my home theater does. I've got height speakers, and I've got surround back speakers.
Right.
Okay? So that's 7.1.2.
1.2, yeah.
So what it is. So are you saying, can they do height, surround backs, and then 2 additional Atmos speakers?
Right.
Or 4 additional Atmos speakers? And the answer to that question is no. Because front height speakers end up being an Atmos speaker. One of the 0.4s. And we can't. So it would end up being 7.1.6 if what we're thinking you're saying is what you're saying, which is 7.1 setup with front heights, top middles, and top backs, or something like that. Right. Which can't be done right now. I mean, unless you have a turn-off.
That's right. Or some of the other, like a Steinway Langdorf can do it, and Datasat has one that can do it, but these are all over $10,000, actually well over $10,000. So as far as regular mainstream AV receivers, what several of them can do is your 7 traditional speakers and 4 overhead speakers. 2 of which could be front heights. They absolutely could be. So you could have front heights and top middles, or front heights and top rears, or front heights and rear heights. So in that sense, you can absolutely do surround backs and front heights at the same time. Plenty of receivers can do that. To get to 9.1.4, that would be adding front wides. So there aren't any mainstream receivers that can do 9.1.4. They can do 9.1.2.
Yeah.
There are quite a few that can do that. Only older ones, because none of the new ones do front wides anymore.
Right.
But yeah, so the first number in this triple number thing is referring to how many speakers are at ear level. So the traditional is 7. 9 would add front wides. Then you have the next number, which is the number of subwoofers, and then the last number, which is the number of overhead speakers. Front heights are one option for those overhead speakers.
Yeah. Right, because what you're describing, what you're saying is front heights, right? Was it front height and surround
Front heights
backs?
and surround back. I'm guessing he's looking at
that's been
a
around
lot
forever.
of 7. Yeah, I'm guessing he's looking at a lot of 7-channel receivers.
Yeah.
Like let's say the X3300W, right?
Oh, yeah,
that one maxes out at 7 speakers, so you could do 5.1.2, which would be 5 traditional speakers, plus front heights could be the option. Or you can set it up as 7.2, which would mean you have surround backs, but now you don't have front heights. So there's a ton of receivers that only do 7 speakers maximum.
Like
so maybe that's what he was asking about.
Yeah. Mine only does 7, but you can add an amp to do the other 2.
To do 9. So in effect, your receiver can process 9 speakers. Mm-hmm. It can power 7, but it can process 9. But yeah,
and that's an
there's
X4000.
a lot of receivers.
I mean, that's like 3 years old.
That's right. Yeah. There's several receivers that can process 9 or 11 speakers. There's several that can do that, but they are the higher end models for sure.
Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.